This volume opens not with declaration, but with stripping. Before a single line could be written, the question was locked. What must the writer purge? The answer came at 5 sigma above baseline. Yet the verdict returned deliberative. The architecture was set, but the work was not yet complete. The old nature must be reckoned with daily. Lip service while the heart drifts is a posture to be burned away. Covenant compromises and mixed allegiances must be audited. Presumption is the most subtle trap. The writer who undertakes the work without commission builds at the wrong altar. Purging is not a one-time achievement. It is a process held in tension. The Kamarim within, those hidden allegiances dressed in covenant garments, survive into the writing office. They are exposed not by gentle internal monitoring, but by open rebuke. Bring the hidden thing into the light. Carry it across the Kidron. Destroy it where it cannot return. Anonymous self-promotion under spiritual cover, resentment masked as theological dispute, idle allegiances of audience approval. Each is a Kamarim posture. The remedy is exact. Expose, remove, and let it not return. Before the watchman lifts the trumpet, he must learn wisdom before urgency. He must be sent, not self-appointed. He must speak with a distinct, unconfused voice. His vindication comes from the one who sent him, not from human reception. Discipline is time measured by the king. The 7 years in Hebron are the ordained season of consolidation. The writer who tries to compress Hebron into Jerusalem time forfeits the carrying capacity. Do not write before the season is full. And when the feeding begins, it must begin with fear of YHWH, bounded obedience, gentleness, humility, and a heart shaped by the master. The feeder must first be fed. Turn now to the flock. They are afflicted, yet heard. Scattered, yet being gathered. Corrected, yet not abandoned. The boundary of the called-out body is not an institutional roster or an ethnic perimeter. It is covenantal cleaving. The lost are not isolated strays. They are heirs embedded in a people's history, awaiting eyes opened, priestly inheritance, and ritual washing. The corporate transphysical hope is not a sum of separately redeemed individuals, but a single raised body. The first person plural is the resurrection register. We are bought. We are heard. We are gathered. We are raised. The call to guard them follows a recognizable pattern. It begins with the revelation of the name. It is given by direct speech, not deduced from circumstance. It requires consecration, the entry of the spirit of life, covenantal gesture, and grace-enabled assignment. Where one is missing, examine further. Falsification is exposed not by inquisitions, but by removal, sudden breaking, divine requirement, exclusion, and heart pondering. Walk the call given. Honor the words spoken. Let the Father's mechanisms do the exposing they are built to do. Guardianship means receptivity before action, appointment over autonomy, accountability to covenant standards, watchfulness, and boundary keeping as mercy. Lordship owns the table. Guardianship serves at it. The guardian's voice asks before it teaches, is consecrated, shepherds rather than dominates, warns and comforts, and holds temperance. The voice that always has more to say is in danger of denying the one who gave the measure. What is forfeited by failure is covenant standing and sacred favor. What is received by faithfulness is treasured status, age-lasting priesthood, and co-regency. The Father's heart is plainly toward what is received. How does the sacred spirit relate to the Father and Son? The corpus affirmed a third formulation, distinct personal agency in unified covenantal operation. The Spirit is the anointing power that consecrates priesthood, the unifying bond that guards peace, the witnessing voice testifying to shared mission. Not 3 deliberating consciousnesses, but a unified divine work. The Ekklesia operates as the Royal Levitical Priesthood, royal in identity, Levitical in service. Boldness, access, confidence, not as visitors at a curtain, but as priests within. The corpus returned this at 100% probability. It is the structural anchor. The Father purchased a people. This is not a transaction acquiring what belonged to another, but the preservation of what was always his own. The segula, the treasured possession, kept through scattering and compromise until the anointed's blood made the preservation visible. The legal architecture of redemption rests on price, substitute, priestly mediation, covenant condition, and recognition. The Father purchases through the blood of the Son. The Son's blood is the operative coin by virtue of shared divine substance. The blood is the life. The altar mediates. The priesthood handles. The covering extends. The transaction is age-lasting. A decree issued that will not pass. The shroud's bloodstains stand as priestly historical testimony. They say this happened. They anchor the event in real history, with real wounds, on a real body. The Day of Atonement pattern is fulfilled corporately. The high priest entered the heavenly holy of holies with his own blood. The iniquities were born and sent out. The wilderness typology is held in deliberative frame, refined by patience. The shepherd's voice is sown like seed. Hearing is the rooting. The shroud's photonic witness anchors the shepherd's body in history. The cloth records a body that radiated at the moment of transformation. This is the anchor. The chief shepherd's appearing is set against the architecture of sin, promised to those who endure. This volume is not information to be acquired, but covenant inheritance to be entered. Receive it by consecration, in the gathered, with willingness to be refined, with the watchman's posture, and with the manna pattern. What is omitted protects you. No false accusations, no operational secrets, no premature claims, no personal grievances. The title itself is a mandate, a good name, publicly declared at the place of sacrifice. Guard the name of the kinsman against being sold for merchandise. Put the bad away from among yourselves. Close with the benediction. The Elohim of peace brought again from the dead the great shepherd by the blood of the age-lasting covenant. He equips you in every good work to do his will, working in you what is well-pleasing in his sight. Be not afraid of the words you have heard. The glory be his unto the ages of the ages. Selah.